Welcome back to my channel. We are here with Trinity again in this bad drink. You need more juice?
Was strong, girl.
You need more juice?
It's fine. I'm good. Hello, y'all.
Yeah, ice.
She's trying to
Ice.
poison me.
Get ice.
No, it's okay. Anyway,
So today we're going to be talking about dating men, because we date men. Disclaimer.
unfortunately,
Yeah. If we could change it, we would.
honestly, it's one of my biggest downfalls in life.
What lesson did God think we needed to learn
You know,
that everybody else didn't need to learn?
because I'm sick of it. Honestly, I'm tired. I'm done.
Truth is all the time.
You know that like gif of the person smoking it.
Yeah.
That's me when I think about dating men again. I'm going on another date, interacting with another man. I'm gonna wait till we get to the topic, but I downloaded Hinge again, and it really showed me that I'm very comfortable in being single.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about how being single is a luxury according to Tariq Ali, and standards being too high, supposedly, and people trying to force children on women. But we're going to start with how being single is a luxury. Okay, so as a backstory, I have always felt that way. I just have never been into dating and been into the risk. I feel like dating is a risk. Me personally, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I have always felt like dating is a risk. Like, if you are already happy, you're putting your happiness in another person's hands. And I just have never been comfortable enough to fully do that. I just like being in control of that. And so therefore, I have never dated anyone. Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. But now I kind of consider the idea, but I'm still not really fully there, but like I consider the idea. But I have enjoyed being single all those years. There wasn't a year where I was single where I did not enjoy it. Go ahead, how about you?
I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum as her. I've always been like a serial monogamist. I've always like wanted to be in a relationship. Just felt like that would like complete me being in a relationship, just because the way I grew up, and all the women in my family were always like, you know, good men and like settle down, blah 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 blah. And so I've always like wanted to be in a relationship and pursued being in relationships with people, and I have had terrible experiences in relationships, like traumatic experiences in relationships. And yes, so one day I was on the phone with Erika, and she was like explaining her risk explanation for relationships and why she doesn't like pursue them. And I don't think of it as like putting your happiness in another person's hands, but we do have to acknowledge the fact that, you know, a lot of people say like you shouldn't like let someone be responsible for your happiness, but we do have to acknowledge the fact that relationships do affect you emotionally and mentally. Because you are giving yourself emotionally and mentally to some person. Like, you are engaging with them in an emotional manner, and you're building ties with them. And so they do affect you emotionally. We can't act like that they don't. But when she said that, I was like, And I was like, you know, let's vibe and see how it is with just you. You know, let's work on focusing on you. And that was easy to do because I was like graduating, so I was like in my grad depression. I was actually talking to someone, and I am diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And he did not understand depression and anxiety. Like, he didn't understand how to deal with those things. Like, so it was very hard talking to him. And he was like, something with men is like, I don't know why, but y'all have a problem with like, or a lot of men, or a lot of people, period, have like issues with like you're talking to them and they're not listening to you, and then they like try to like focus on themselves. And so I was having a hard time with my move here to Atlanta, because I moved here like during the pandemic, And I felt lonely, and I was just telling him about like how I feel depressed because I was graduating, and I graduated late, so I felt like a failure, and I also didn't know what I was going to do after graduation. And I was in Atlanta by myself, and I was just like, I had my brother and my dad here, but I just didn't have my friends. And I was trying to talk to him about that type of stuff, and he was not. So I was like, I can't focus on building this with you right now. But he would call me every now and then, and he would call me, and you know how you answer the phone, you'd be like, hello, he'd be like, I thought you was depressed, why are you smiling? And I was like, I'm done. So after like being by myself for a little minute and like really simmering on like her take on like putting your happiness in another person, or just like how relationships affect you and like how you set yourself up, I was like, I'm just gonna vibe by myself. And now I'm to the point where I, like how she says she considers the idea, I don't even consider that idea. Like, I think about someone coming in my life, and I'm like, I really don't want to give someone else my energy. Like, I have things that I'm into, like hobbies and stuff. I have goals that I'm trying to achieve, and I really don't want to give my time and energy to someone because I need my time and energy to do the things that I like to do and do the things that I want to do. Like, I want to be able to indulge myself in my hobbies without someone being like, I haven't seen you all week, because I don't want to see you because I'm doing something. So I don't know, single life has really like, one, made me fall in love with myself, and it's also made me like feel very confident in me. And it's also, I feel like, helped me reach like this like level of like happiness where I'm just kind of like, I'm cool with myself and I'm okay with that. But it does have this like slippery slope where you're just kind of like, I don't want nobody around me now. And I think it's kind of different from like Erika's experience, because Erika hasn't dated and I have. So like, whereas I have dated, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not even trying to let a man breathe my way. I don't want not damn man touching me. Because it's been terrible experiences, and I don't want to experience that again. But, you know.
And also, I feel like if you don't give yourself a chance to be single and kind of embrace being single, you kind of don't learn yourself for real. Like, you don't give yourself time to learn yourself, to enjoy being alone with yourself, to enjoy putting yourself into the things that you love. And then when you break up with that person, you kind of end up in a space of you don't know what to do, or you're like trying to relearn yourself again because you never did know yourself. And so that's why I do agree with it being a luxury, because I feel like not everyone is capable of, well, they're capable of doing it, but you know, sometimes it takes a lot more for other people to want to explore themselves alone and not like with another person. They're constantly like dating or being with another person, or they need another like attachment. So I do feel like it is a luxury to finally get to that place where you're comfortable being alone. And when you are comfortable being alone and finally are able to learn yourself, I feel like that does open up a new window of relationships, because now you really do like know yourself and know what you like, know what you don't like, know, like it just opens like a different kind of window.
Yeah.
Whereas like before, when you're dating, you're kind of dating them and they kind of are helping you or adjusting what you do like, because you don't really know.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, all this stuff is stuff she already told me, because I was going to say that really sounds like she's always getting on me, because every time I would get into a relationship, like I would have a period where I'm single and I would get into like something that I really liked and that I take interest in, and then I get in a relationship and she's always like, you drop the things you like when you get in a relationship. And I did. So I do agree that like, you know, me being like a serial monogamist like I was did hinder me like being able to really dive into the things that I really liked. And I do also agree that I think when I am ready to start dating again, my dating experience will be a lot different, because I know me, I know my worth, I love me a little bit more, like not a little bit, but a lot more. And so I won't tolerate a lot of the things I've been tolerating. I had a really bad problem with boundaries. Like I would always be like, well, I'm not gonna do this. And then I would like a guy and I'd be like, okay, I can overlook it for right now. And I would put myself in very awkward situations. But like now, because I'm starting to like love myself more, like, and understand that I don't have to be with someone. So now I know I can be a little bit more struggle with my boundaries. It was like, I don't want this, and I'm not going to deal with it because I think you're a nice person. Like, I could find a nice person that also respects these boundaries that I have set up. So it's like, we live in a new day and age. Money is not the only thing that's gonna make a girl want you.
Also, we live in a day and age where women make the most money.
Exactly. Like, I got my own money, baby. I can pay my own bills. I need more from you. I need you to be emotionally supportive. I need you to be able to hold a conversation. Cause y'all don't know, men, a lot of men out here don't know how to hold a conversation. And it's so funny because on social media, men will try to be like, oh, women don't know how to hold a conversation. Blah, blah,
They
blah.
not funny.
No, men don't know how to. Men do not know how to hold a conversation. Like, all my experience on dating apps and like meeting men, giving them my number and stuff like that. It's
Y'all do not
terrible.
know how many conversations I've had, arguments, disagreements, whatever, from men who'd be like, I'm mad that you didn't reply back. Now ask me what I didn't reply back to. Not a question, just a okay or yeah, sure. And then it's, why didn't you reply back? You didn't say nothing. What am I replying back to?
The way, like, it's like pulling teeth, having conversation with men from like this dating apps where you give men your number. It's terrible. It's horrible conversations. Like, I was talking to my friend and I was telling them like my tactic when I'm like on dating apps or when I am dating and I give people my number and I'm trying to like talk to them to get to know them. Is that I ask a lot of questions. Like, I just ask a lot of questions. If I'm texting a man, I just ask him a lot of questions. What do you do? What are your favorite foods? What do you do? I look up questions online and I just ask them.
But also the thing is, if you don't ask me back,
that's what I was just about to say. Ask me how many of those men ask me the question. It's literally a simple you too. Ask me how many times I get that when I'm texting them and asking them questions about themselves. They don't do it. Y'all don't care. They just look at you as like a little vagina and they like, I'm just finna. I don't even know what be going through y'all head when y'all be texting. Like, when you're texting, do you really think it's like a genuine conversation that you're having? Like,
I think they do.
Feel like,
cause they're like, well, why didn't you answer back? They ask that because they think they're having a good conversation. Cause you're carrying the conversation. They're like, this is a good conversation. Cause they're reading the shit. But it's like, they don't realize that they're not giving anything to the conversation.
it's hard out here, y'all, and I just started ghosting men because of it, because it's tiring. It's tiring trying to hold a conversation and then men will sit here and be like, oh, you ghosted me for no reason. No, because you're boring to talk to. You're boring to talk to. You're not interesting. And that's another thing that be stressing me about heterosexual men is y'all are not interesting sometimes. Y'all really aren't interesting. Y'all have no hobbies. Y'all don't be doing nothing for fun. Y'all don't read. Y'all don't listen to podcasts. Y'all don't watch video essays. Y'all don't know nothing. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to talk to y'all about something. And no,
it's like the little stuff you do talk to them about, they act like they don't know what to say. Like, what is going on? Tell me about your day.
Moral of the story is, men are triggered because women's standards, yes, have risen. They've risen because we don't need y'all to make a home anymore, because we can make a home for ourselves.
We need to entertain us.
We need more from y'all. And men are stressed because they were taught when they were growing up that they had to give money. And now that they have to have a personality, they have to engage with a woman more than just sex and money. Now they're just like, well, what the hell do I do?
And I feel like they're like, oh, you're lying because my friends think I'm great. But it's like, I feel like they don't understand there's a disconnect between how they act with their friends and how boring they're being in the conversation. And I feel like they're like, oh, but you know that I'm fun around my friends, so that doesn't matter. I feel like it matters. Like, why are you so boring right now? What is happening? Why do you try more for your friends? Let's talk about men and how they date to impress their friends. that's how that goes. Why are they boring with us and not with their friends? Because they be dating to impress their friends.
They do. And I mean, that's why a lot of times you hear about like men who have like horror stories.
He's boring because he likes